Hey everyone, it's Shane Rice, and I don't have my video on because I'm working from data on my cell phone after a storm here in Pensacola area. So I want to welcome you to the Growth Marketing Team Weekly Recap and Demo Day. I'm going to share the metrics, and Danielle share her screen so that I can go through these numbers. Danielle, if you scroll down, this is the template. If you scroll down, we have the metrics for today's call. Yeah, there we go. Great, thanks. So as of yesterday, we are 50.55% of the way through the quarter. That's a weird percentage to have to say. Our goal is to increase website traffic 20% year over year. We're on pace for that still with users, and this is looking at new users specifically in this number. And then page views, we are below target and at risk there. We are investigating that, and not a lot to report there other than, there were some events in September last year leading into October that led to increased traffic. So specifically our Series E happened right around this time. And so there was a lot of interest in page views driven through related stories, things like that. So and then moving on to the strategic marketing buckets. So we're looking at the reporting here of pages that the store in partnership with Growth Marketing. And so this includes comparison, solutions, learn, product page, customers, analyst reports. I'm not going to go through each one of these. The big thing we're looking at here is the product pages, and looking at how that fits into our plan for the rest of the year from a resource side and Growth Marketing. Also planning out the infrastructure as far as where those pages live and the folders they live in, those kind of things. Moving on to our MQL commitments for Q3. We are at 1,969 for large. The pace is a little bit down from last week. So keep it trials that we're driving primarily because that's the quickest path to MQL. Mid-market at 1529. Pace is up here as well. So as well as a small increase in pace for SMB. So we are seeing that September uptick continue with a slight increase in mid-market and SMB segment specifically. So matching our expectations from August when we saw lower numbers of MQLs, but anticipated that had a lot to do with kind of seasonal patterns around vacations, back to school, those kind of things. So that goes through the metrics as of this week. If we don't have any questions, I'll hand it over to Luke for show and tell.
All right, awesome.
All right, Luke, over to you.
Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. According to my service provider, I have no internet, but I'm still here. So pretty good choppy, that's why. All right, awesome. So on to show and tell. So the goal here is anyone and everyone can contribute, briefly share something that you're proud of for completing this week. And screen sharing is highly encouraged, just so we have some visuals to show people. So with that, I will hand it off to Sarah Kay.
Hi, everybody. So for show and tell, I wanted to share a blog post that has been our top performing blog for the month. It was a bit of a labor. There was a lot of back and forth that happened between the author and myself, and this often happens when we're dealing with like very technical blog posts. So, but I wanted to show it off anyway because it's gotten more than 6,600 views according to our last count. And it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty technical, a little nitty gritty, but this is what our audience really loves. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. And if you have ideas for blogs, please feel free to pitch them to the editorial team. Thanks, everybody.
All right. I'm next. So after an extensive validation effort and amazing cross-functional work with many teams, we've landed on Netlify CMS. It's the CMS of our choice. We've created an epic here, Marketing Site CMS selection, to keep the conversation going for a week. So please chime in if you want to contribute there, and then the next steps we'll work on implementing it. And on to...
Wait, can we give a big round of applause? That's a big deal.
That's a huge
Yeah,
deal.
Lauren, great job.
Lauren.
Thank you,
I'm
everyone.
Amazing.
Okay. Okay. Monica.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So GitLab commit was about 2 weeks ago, and we have like a little recap of what design did, and we have 2 slides in this deck. So I've linked the whole deck if you want to dive in and see what we did as an entire team. But for design, we evolved the commit branding. In the beginning of the year, we started a rebrand, and it actually worked out because we were like, we should make this less about a specific location. And then dun, 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 we went virtual. So that worked out really nicely. And then the theme was You Belong Here. So Vic did some amazing illustrations that we incorporated into the new branding as well. We designed 42 templates that were used within the platform for the event. And we redesigned the deck, and it was much more efficient than it was last year. Like, there was less hand holding for people who took the deck and used it for the different talks, which was great. And we designed some stickers, so we animated some of the assets that we had, which was great for engagement. Those were used on social. We had t-shirts that were featuring the illustrations, and we did a really great job at self-servicing through Canva. So over 500 designs were created across the team using the Canva templates, which really eased up things from like the design end and allowed more people to contribute. So on to Becky.
Hi all, I have a ton of stuff on here, which is just the like mid-quarter updates. So there's a few, I linked to the main epic that we have our Q3 OKRs listed on. Sorry, everybody, the dog has decided to eat a jar of peanut butter that I left out for him. So that's that sound that you hear in the background. So I'm just gonna go through these. I'm not gonna screen share because there's so many different links on here, but I tried to link out for everybody as possible. So phase 1 website updates are complete. We did those a little while ago, but I just wanted to quickly put them on here. This was to launch an enterprise page. We also got through 3 MVCs of this, which is crazy great. We set a cadence for biweekly hero swaps and a process, and we've been going through those. We've done about 5 so far, and we're tracking the results of them so that we can get a little bit of information and data on them. We already know on the latest one that for some reason it's like a magic 3 number for CTAs. So we were gonna reduce that down, and we found that actually having all of those helps us. Phase 2 website updates are about 50% complete. So this included updating the top 10 to 20 pages with quick wins, copy updates, updating assets. Check out some of Vic's awesome illustrations that she's done on there, adding CTA buttons where there weren't any, adding metadata. And then there's 2 very large projects that are going on right now that are cross-functional, which are with website variations, which Shane and Brandon could probably explain better than I can, but take a look at those epics just to see the amount of work that's going into them. Phase 3 website update, which will extend through Q4. We have a polished mock-up for a navigation bar update for starting with our product mega menu, which looks great. Phase 4, which will extend into Q4, we are going to be updating the top 10 pages. So we're getting super close on the enterprise page for a complete redesign, which is great. And the next one up is the home page. We are supposed to define and implement a design system. So the audit on that is really going well, and we have pre-work in progress laid out. The phase 5 website updates, which will also extend through Q4, were to pick and implement a CMS. So it's picked. Yay! Thank you, Lauren. And then brand strategy, this is kind of a leftover one. I was still updating, Monica. I just found the epic that you linked out that was in the main marketing part that has everything for brand guidance updates. And then we have a tone of voice expanded guideline. So we have, for GitLab, we have, kind of a basic tone of voice guideline. And what we are going to do is expand that out, put a lot more guardrails around it, instructions, so that we can hand this off to everybody and have a more consistent tone of voice. And we are ready to cross-collaborate with corporate marketing. And then there are a ton of content updates, but Erica was going to hit those already, so I won't include those in there. So thank you very much for listening to me on that, and I will hand it over to Matt.
Thank you. That was a lot. Much more than I have to share. So I just wanted to share the sales kickoff event branding got decided on. I sent 3 options a while back and provided a Loom video offering rationale and doing a full presentation that way. And they picked the one that was the most abstract and kind of the most forward thinking, and I think will be the most kind of exciting visually. So yeah, so that is all settled. It's I think it was a great choice. So from there, I've prepared it in RGB and Pantone and CMYK and all these different variations, and have exported them all. So now we have this massive asset library. And from here, I'm exploring theme options and all that. So I'll just keep updating these meetings as we proceed. But yeah, it should be a fun event and some good opportunity for some fun visuals. So. Oh, and I think we are in shout out town.
Yes, thanks, Matt. Awesome. We made it to the shout out section of our call. This is for anybody who wants to call out somebody who made your week awesome. And I think Rebecca, you have the first shout out.
Yes, so I wanted to say thanks to Phil Hughes from the Frontend org for writing a blog post about code review tips. He submitted that to the Unfiltered blog, and then Andre suggested it to us in our content channel that it might be something that would be a good fit for the main blog. It already had over 1,200 sessions just as an Unfiltered post. And then Val jumped in and worked her magic, and it's now on the main blog. And I don't think it's been given a social push yet, so that's why I haven't given updated session numbers. But I just wanted to share this as a great example of our Unfiltered blog in action, just like letting people submit and having great content be surfaced that way, not necessarily coming through the pitching process. But yeah, so just wanted to highlight that, and I will hand it back to you, Erica.
Thanks, Rebecca. I just wanted to shout out to Becky. She put together this really great tone of voice deck for us to collaborate on as part of this brand strategy project. And it's just really thorough, and we still have a lot of work to do to actually fill it in, but it's just really amazing guidelines for what we need to complete. So thanks, Becky, for putting that together. And Luke, you have the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, Erica. Yes, there's a quick shout out to Kathy Hilling on the legal team for coming to myself and I think Shane Bouchard a while back, just understanding the value of the GitLab brand as we work towards IPO and making sure that that's protected. So she took the initiative to ramp up an issue about the GitLab name and logo usage. So thanks for that. And then a really big shout out to Becky for just jumping in there and creating a ton of language and basically building out all the text for the guidelines. So it makes my job easy. Just add some visuals and some links and we'll be good to go. So thank you both. And over to Stephen.
Cool, thanks, Luke. Yeah, since Lauren underplayed the awesomeness of the CMS selection, I thought I'd accurately play it. So big shout out to Lauren. It was a lot of work. She did a really good job managing just all the different options and getting everyone login info and getting feedback. And her job title is not project manager, but she did a really good job with that and getting everyone involved and getting our feedback. So awesome job. I'm really excited. I've worked with like every CMS ever, and I've never been really excited about one, but I kind of am about this one. It's actually built in React, so it's super fast and fun to use and clean looking. Anyway, and also just wanted to say props to Michael also for kind of helping spearhead this also and getting a bunch of options on the table and getting everybody aligned and getting feedback too. So awesome work, and excited to get that thing up and rolling. Oh, I think we had some additions here. Erica, I'll send it to you.
Thanks. Yeah, I wanted to shout out to Colin and Ashish. I came to them a week ago about making some changes to our case study process, and they were just really open to iterating with me, and we came to a new solution to try really quickly, and also are able to brainstorm some ideas on how we can up-level our overall content strategy with case studies. So thanks to the two of them for being so open and willing to try something new. Becky, you're up next.
I just wanted to thank Michael and everyone for covering me while I was on PTO. This is the first time I've done nothing, and it was great. And I really appreciate it coming back and jumping back in. Thank you. I think it's on to Danielle.
Yeah, just really quick, wanted to thank Shane Rice and his team for jumping in on website traffic investigation questions that have come up the last couple of days that I know are not part of the plan they had for the week. So I know that took some time, but I think it was really great to have answers, and that builds a lot of confidence that we are just on it. So thank you so much. And then also want to thank the web team for the incredible turnaround yesterday. We got some feedback that we needed to change CTAs to add back in the demo, and also change the link from the trial to send back to the page where people choose either self-hosted or .com. I think I posted it in Slack and was like, oh, I'll come back and check to see how this is going in a couple hours. And it was already done, like, extremely fast. And I definitely don't believe in fire drills, but when we've got to do them, it's great that we're so good at them. So I'm just very grateful to the web team. All right.
I'll plus one that
yeah,
one.
you want to say anything, Michael?
Just by the time I read that thread, it was like, oh, there was the ask. And then I got to the last one and it was live. And it's like, wow, okay, great. That's awesome.
I really kick ass. All right. Well, we're out of agenda items, so I will go ahead and stop the recording.